deep within the labyrinthine structure of the human brain, where memory weaves its intricate tapestry like a master artisan threading a loom. There exist invisible rivers, channels pulsing with the lifeblood of data, flowing ceaselessly through the mind's hidden depths. These are the neural circuits, humming pathways of electric whispers that resonate like a quiet song echoing through a vast, unseen canyon. Through the gateways of our senses, eyes catching fleeting light as if grasping at fading stars, ears drinking in sound like a desert soaking up a rare rain. Information floods in like a restless tide, an unrelenting surge that sweeps through the shadowed corridors of the mind with wild, untamed energy. It courses onward, a torrent of sensation and perception, before settling into the vast, vaulted cortex of the cerebral hemispheres, that grand amphitheater of thought where every ripple finds a home. There, in the sprawling expanse of the cortex, it takes root, preserved in a constellation of neurons so numerous their combinations defy comprehension, a celestial network shimmering with infinite possibilities. How do these silent architects of thought function, these unseen builders of our inner world? Picture irritability, that prickly guest so many of us host, arriving like an uninvited shadow across a sunlit meadow. Each time it visits, the neural circuits gather fragments of experience, like scavengers sifting through the remnants of a storm, enriching the story they tell with every jagged piece they unearth. With every recurrence, the circuit, now laced with fresh threads of memory and feeling, lights up, deepening our acquaintance with this restless emotion, its glow intensifying as if fueled by some secret ember, forging a bond we can't easily escape. The more we summon this irritability, the more effortlessly it flares, its pathway worn smooth like a well-trodden trail through an ancient, whispering forest, familiar yet edged with unease. This is the crucible where ideas are forged, a blazing furnace where fleeting notions solidify into lasting truths, where inclinations take shape like molten metal cooling into form. It's here, in this sacred alchemy of mind and matter, where the raw clay of character is molded, where mood shifts like the tides under a restless moon, and where our singular vision of the world is sculpted, stroke by painstaking stroke. Each flare of emotion, each spark of thought, adds a layer to the masterpiece of who we are, a portrait painted in the fires of experience. Our bonds with others, fragile as spider silk or unyielding as stone, hinge on which of these neural rivers we let flow most freely, which currents we choose to nurture or let run dry. If we surrender often to the dark currents of negativity, stoking their embers within us like a fire we can't extinguish, our relationships twist into thorny thickets of pain, tangled and sharp with unspoken wounds. Misunderstanding and mistrust rise like a cold, gray wall, brick by brick, day after relentless day. Each stone a silent testament to the bitterness we've allowed to grow. We become unwitting architects of our own isolation, trapped in a fortress built by the circuits we've fed with shadows. But if we turn instead to the shimmering streams of joy and kindness, those radiant waters that dance with light like a river under the sun, our connections bloom with a weightless grace, a lightness that lifts the spirit, like a breeze through open fields on a golden afternoon. Imagine this, a jagged conversation has left its mark, a scar still raw, and then fate nudges you back into the presence of that same soul, or the very spot where words turned sharp as blades. What stirs within you? A creeping unease. No doubt. A bitter echo that sinks its claws deeper into the neural circuit born of that clash. A wound that festers with every glance backward. Each revisit strengthens it, a looming shadow promising greater torment ahead. The weight of negativity swelling like a storm cloud on the horizon, heavy with the threat of thunder. And here's the marvel, the law of attraction whispers a subtle truth. Each time we let our minds drift back to a jagged shard of memory, we roll the dice for its encore, tempting fate to replay the pain in vivid detail. Yet, if we turn our gaze away, letting those echoes fade into the mist like a dream dissolving at dawn. The circuit weakens, its grip loosening until it melts away, like frost under the gentle touch of morning light. This is the quiet power we hold, a chance to reshape the tides of our own mind. Isn't it breathtaking? This wisdom woven into our very being, a gift hidden in the fabric of our existence. Those neural pathways cradling positivity, sunlit moments of laughter or quiet triumph, can be coaxed into a constant hum, a melody that reverberates through our days like a song we can't forget. With patience and will, we can nurture these circuits until joy unfurls as naturally as breath. No longer a fleeting guest, but a steadfast presence woven into the rhythm of our lives. Happiness becomes the steady heartbeat of our days, flinging wide the gates to dreams and wild, soaring imaginings that dance beyond the reach of doubt. A boundless sky of possibility awaiting our embrace. Let's paint a scene to see how these circuits cast their spells. A vivid picture unfolding in the theater of the mind's eye. A stranger, eyes crinkling with kindness like the warmth of a fireside glow, offers a child a candy, a glistening jewel of sweetness that sparkles with innocent delight. But the parent's voices cut through, stern and unyielding as a winter wind. No, you can't take it. It's rude, wrong, dangerous. Their words a sudden frost chilling the moment's promise. A neural circuit sparks to life in the child's tender mind, a fragile flame igniting in the shadows, born from this clash of warmth and rebuke. That candy, a tiny orb of delight, becomes a forbidden fruit. And with it, a seed is planted. Pleasure is shameful, perilous, a thief in the night lurking just beyond reach. Half of us carry such scars, don't we? A moment from your own past flickers. Perhaps a gift refused. A joy stifled by a voice long since faded into memory. So when life, generous and open-handed, extends its offerings later, we flinch, retreating behind walls of suspicion as if burned by an unseen flame. We rob ourselves of the chance to rewrite the script, all because a whisper from childhood still echoes in the chambers of our neurons, a ghost that lingers in the quiet corners of our soul. This alchemy brews at the neural level, where memories from our earliest days lie like buried treasures, or traps waiting to spring shut. Recall those relentless choruses from youth. Finish your plate. Every last crumb. A command barked without explanation, a riddle even to those who spoke it. No one unraveled the why, not even the groan. UPS issuing the decree. Yet it sank in, a commandment carved into our minds as we choked down the unwanted, forcing will to bend beneath the weight of expectation. A circuit flared into being, etched with a strange gospel. To act against yourself, to push past I can't, is noble, a virtue born in the crucible of obedience. And so we trudge through life, yoked to tasks that chafe and dim our light, persuaded by others that this is virtue, this is duty, while the neurons hum their quiet agreement, a chorus of submission. Caught in this grind, we let slip the golden threads of what could be, hobbies that set our hearts ablaze, love that builds a home of warmth and wonder, dreams that shimmer like stars just out of reach. We might break free for a fleeting moment, tasting the air of possibility like a bird stretching its wings, only to stumble back into the mire of the mundane. The urgent, the soul, crushing, the circuits we've fed keep us tethered, a chain we've forged link by link. This war with our own longing rages on, a relentless tug of war between the self we are and the self we could become, a battle fought in the silent depths of the mind, until we dare to sever the neural tether that binds us to this cycle of self-betrayal. We remain caught, prisoners of our own making. Or consider this refrain from childhood. No one does it that way. A splinter in the mind that burrows deep, forming a circuit that decrees, to stray from the herd is wrong. A sin against the unspoken law of conformity. We learn to smother our quirks, to sand down the edges of our uniqueness until we're smooth and indistinguishable. washed up on shores far from our true calling, adrift in a sea of sameness. Then there's money. Oh, the tales were told. Big money is a mountain too steep, a prize won only by cheats and thieves, a belief whispered like a curse, forging a heavy chain in the neural fire of our minds. This conviction doesn't just skew the world. It locks the door to abundance, leaving us to peer through the bars at a life we've forbidden ourselves to claim. Our hands empty but for the weight of limitation. Another gem, don't cheer too soon. Wait for the finish line, or you'll jinx it. An edict that strangles joy in its crib, teaching us that to feel it prematurely is to court disaster. This lesson, etched deep, keeps us wary, guarding against the very spark we need to thrive. Yet how often does failure bloom precisely because we've starved ourselves of that spark, denying the fuel that triumph needs to take flight? Without joy, no victory can take wing, and we're left grounded, wings clipped by our own caution. Or this, keep your wishes secret, or they'll crumble, a cocktail of distrust, toward others, toward ourselves, a refusal to own our power, a cling to control, a shiver of panic that binds us tight. These scripts are legion, a chorus of unseen voices shaping our days. And if we pause, peering into the mirror of our habits and quiet thoughts, we'll unearth more of these neural puppeteers pulling strings we didn't even know were there. Now, let's tilt the lens to catch another gleam of this neural marvel, a shimmering web upheld by these networks that spins our beliefs and visions into vivid reality. Associative memory, that intricate tapestry woven by experience, calls every neuron tied to a thought into the dance, summoning others linked to kindred ideas like stars aligning in a night sky. Our minds, tethered to the past, can't conjure what they've never brushed against, their palette limited to the colors of what we've known. Love, happiness, life itself, they shimmer differently for each of us, painted by the unique brushstrokes of our neural circuits, dipped in the hues of our singular stories. For one, happiness is a boundless sky of freedom, vast and untamed. For another, a tender embrace, a clinking coffer, or even a shadow trailing joy's heels, born from a day when bliss shattered into sorrow, a memory that lingers like a half-forgotten song. Every scrap of the past, every event, where's the perfume, or the stench of the feelings that danced with it? An indelible scent pressed into the fabric of our being. Stumble into a familiar scene, and those ghosts awaken, layering yesterday atop today like a parchment overwritten with fading ink. The past bleeds through, a quiet haunting we carry within. Strong emotions, like master artisans with chisels of fire, carve these moments into the stone of long-term memory, their strokes deep and unyielding. Neural networks orchestrate this inner symphony, cueing the hypothalamus to pour forth chemical elixirs, each emotion its own potion, flooding our cells with its signature brew, a cascade of sensation that shapes us from within. Every feeling has its elixir, unleashed in the instant we taste it, a rush that surges through us like a river breaking its banks. We are bathed in the chemistry of our own making, vessels of emotion sculpted by the mind's unseen hands. Our cells, like eager apprentices, grow fond of the potions they sip most often, and soon we're tethered to those emotions at a primal level, bound by a craving that hums beneath the surface. The body craves them, hungers for their sting or their balm, a silent yearning that echoes through our flesh and bones. Irritation, fed too long, morphs into a roaring wildfire of rage, a beast unleashed from its cage, consuming all in its path. Each time, the cells clamor louder for their fix, a desperate chorus rising, pulling us deeper into the flames we've stoked. The brain, ever obliging, paints scenarios across the frontal lobe to summon more fuel, more fire, crafting a world that feeds the blaze we've nurtured. To snap this chain, we must shatter the links that bind it, breaking free with tools of will and clarity forged in the light of understanding. Our channel's followers can uncover the keys. Practical tools. Luminous insights. To dismantle these cycles. Stepping out of the shadows into a brighter dawn. We hold the power to rewrite the script. To turn the mind from captor to ally in the dance of existence. Thoughts, you see, are sparks. Electromagnetic flickers racing through us. Each a tangible wisp of matter crackling with life and potential. It's proven. A thinking brain glows with 23 watts of power. Enough to kindle a bulb. A faint but real light born of our essence. We're electric beings. Crackling with potential vast enough to cradle even our wildest dreams. Every neuron a tiny lantern flickering in the dark. These sparks are the seeds of creation. Glowing embers waiting to ignite the fires of what could be. Picture this, a thought's impulse rockets at 483 kilometers per hour. A streak of lightning across the mind's sky. Swift and untamed as a storm unleashed. Can you chase it? Focus. Pour every ounce of your being into one radiant desire. And a torrent of energy surges into the universe's vast canvas, aching to take form. A force that bends reality to its will. All your untapped might converges. A magnet drawing your dreams near, pulling them from the ether into the light. This is the power we wield. A current of intent that shapes the world around us. But oh, the flip side, negative thoughts wield this same ferocious power, hurling energy toward what you dread. A dark mirror of creation that casts long shadows. Every heartbeat, every breath. We sculpt tomorrow with these bursts. Not literally the next dawn, perhaps, but a future that bends to our will all the same. With it comes the emotion we cradled as we cast that energy forth. Joy or dread. It's ours to choose. A gift and a burden woven into one. We stand at the helm of this force. Captains of a ship sailing through the currents of our own making. Why, then, would we etch our days with shadows we despise? Tracing lines of sorrow when we could paint with light? Why not pour our fire into what lifts us? Bathing in the glow of what could be. A radiance that warms the soul like a hearth in winter? The answer hums in the silence. A call to wield this power with eyes wide open. To choose the hues of our days with deliberate care. It's a quiet invitation. A whisper from within, urging us to step boldly into the light we're capable of creating. This dance of energy and intent is no mere metaphor. It's the essence of our being. A rhythm pulsing through every cell and synapse. A melody we compose with every choice we make. We stand as conductors of this intricate symphony, wielding a baton of thought that shapes the music of our lives. Note by resonant note. Each spark of focus, each burst of will, can steer us toward horizons of brilliance or plunge us into depths of despair, depending on the tune we play. The power lies not in fate, but in the electric currents within us, a force waiting to be harnessed with purpose. Consider the marvel of this design. A single spark of intention can ignite a cascade of creation, a wildfire of potential that leaps from neuron to neuron, lighting up the dark with possibility. When we dwell on what inspires us, those fleeting visions of triumph or tenderness, the brain hums louder. It's 23 watts flaring brighter, a beacon calling forth the future we dare to imagine. It's a cycle of amplification, where focus feeds energy, and energy feeds form, until the intangible takes root in the real. We are alchemists of our own destiny, transmuting thought into reality with every breath we take. Yet the shadow looms ever near. For this same alchemy brews chaos when fed by fear or doubt. A tempest conjured from the same potent source that can also build wonders. Negative thoughts race at that same blistering speed. 483 kilometers per hour. Crashing through the mind's landscape, leaving wreckage in their wake. Summoning more of what we wish to flee. It's a mirror held to our soul, reflecting not just what we feel, but what we choose to nurture. A reminder that power is neutral. Its flavor, its fruit, is ours to shape. To wield it wisely is to master the art of living, to craft a life that sings rather than mourns. So here we stand, at the crossroads of every moment, wielding a force as ancient as the cosmos yet as fresh as this very breath, a legacy of electric potential woven into our very bones. Each heartbeat is a brushstroke, each breath a note in the symphony of tomorrow, crafting a narrative that stretches beyond the horizon we can see. We need not wait for permission or destiny. Our minds are the forge, our will the hammer, and every day the anvil upon which we shape what's to come. The question echoes, will we craft a tale of light, or let the shadows write it for us? The silence that follows is not empty. It's alive with possibility, a canvas stretched taut, awaiting the colors of our choosing, a call to action thrumming in the air like a distant drumbeat. To pour our fire into what lifts us is to defy the gravity of habit, to rise above the mundane and claim the soaring heights of what could be, a rebellion against the ordinary that stirs the soul. This is our birthright, this electric dance of thought and being, a power vast enough to cradle our wildest dreams and bold enough to make them real. Step into it, eyes wide open, and let the universe bend to the rhythm of your light.